very distracting.
Are you ready? Here we go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky. There are loved ones in the glory whose earphones you often miss when you close your earthly story. Will you join them in their bliss? Will the circle be unbroken by and by? Is a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky? You remember songs of heaven which you sang with childish voice? Do you love the hymns they taught you, or are songs of earth your choice? Will the circle be unbroken by and by? Is a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky? Can picture happy gatherings round the fireside long ago, and to think of cheerful parties when they left you nearly alone. Will the circle be unbroken by and by? Is a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky? Join us! One by one their seats were emptied. One by one they went away. Here the circle has been taken. Will it be complete one day? Will the circle be unbroken by and by? Is a better home awaiting in the sky, in the sky?
Good morning, and welcome to Valley Unitarian Universalist Congregation on this beautiful All Souls Day. This whole weekend, beginning with Halloween, then All Saints Day, and now today, All Souls Day, fills me with a simple joy, remembering Halloween's past and my friends and family now in the cloud of witnesses. Think about Halloween. What is more simple and joyful than having your neighbor's children dress up and go house to house asking for candy with the real expectation that the world and their neighbors will shower it upon them? It is an almost theological explication of faith and grace. So as we experience this weekend of religious traditions, it is my joy to welcome you here with all my heart. I'm Mary Rothschild, your worship associate, she, her, and I'm delighted you've joined us in the sanctuary or on YouTube today to worship with us. If you're sad and depressed, or if you're happy, If you've overdosed on Halloween candy and can't quite remember why you thought that was a good idea, if you're wondering where we are going and how we're going to get there, whatever your background or politics, whoever you choose to love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we bid you welcome. Let this time we spend together honor our diversity in all its forms, and let us welcome each other with openness, compassion, care, and radical hospitality. Our community is rooted in love and justice, and we're excited to share this space with you. We are always delighted to welcome guests among us. For those of you who are new to visiting VUU and are in the sanctuary, we would so appreciate it if you could find the courage to stand so that we can greet you now and after the service. I know it's hard, but are there any visitors? Will you stand? Thank you. I know that takes courage. Thank you very much. Our community, and to all our friends online, if those of us in the sanctuary could wave hello, we can greet each other virtually as well. For those of you attending in person who might want to know more about Unitarian Universalism in general and Valley Unitarian Universalist Congregation in particular, a welcome circle will form on the left side of the sanctuary after the service. So get a beverage and snack and look for the welcome circle to join the discussion. Also, immediately following the service, there will be a short congregational conversation for everyone about our newly launched, it launches today, pledge drive with sign-up sheets for cottage meetings. If you're visiting, and they're outside on tables on the patio. If you're visiting us online, you will be able to join a breakout room discussion after the service. Simply accept the Zoom invitation that will appear following the service. To help us stay connected, we invite each adult to take a moment to sign in using the visitor's QR code. The sign-in QR code is on the slide and is also available in the VUU brochure. If you would like to share a problem with someone or just need a listening ear, a trained pastoral care associate will be available after the service, both in person and online. Our pastoral care associate in the sanctuary today is Adrienne O'Donnell, there she is, who will be waiting at the very front of the sanctuary on your right by that little table. Alternatively, if you're viewing the service online, Dan Schulte will be available online immediately following the service. You can't send a private message on YouTube, so just send them a direct message by email and you can meet on Zoom after the service. Additionally, lay pastoral care associates are also available during the week via email at pastoralcare@vuu.org. As you can see in the next slide, we also have a Caring Neighbors team of folks who can help with problems like needing a meal, a ride, or a cheering card or phone call. They can be reached at caringneighbors@vuu.org. We also have an announcement that next Saturday we have a great event here in the sanctuary, and we're delighted to invite you to join with a congregational event on November the 8th, next Saturday, from 10:45 to noon, to be followed by a lunch. The program is an Idea Percipients and Satang American Band. Lunch will be from 1 to 2. Idea Percipients is a theology that there'll be some discussion of, and it will be an existential service providing acceptance, advice about life in general and music in particular. It's a great opportunity, and they're the people who are going to be giving it to you. Today, our settled minister, Reverend Sarah Oglesby Dunnigan, is out of the pulpit. So this is an entirely lay-led service team led by Lisa Bonine, Melissa Bush, Amanda Lee, and Claudette Wassel, which celebrates our annual Day of Remembrance, honoring our loved ones who have died and sharing some thoughts about how death affects everyone close to those who have died. We hope you will join us in building our altar. That comes later, although there's some lovely things already on it. And remembering special moments with loved ones in your life. Now we're going to light the chalice. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We kindle this flame, symbol of our faith, the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of love, which calls us to work for justice.
A number of our pieces today, based on our subject matter, come from old gospel tradition, where coming out of the enslaved tradition and oral tradition of the enslaved people, there was a lot of hope in the idea of death. And so we've provided you a variety of pieces, some of which really might be sad, and some might be hopeful. And the old gospel tradition is a mixture of hymns and some blues. So you'll hear a little bit of that today. And I hope you consider joining. This next one is I'll Fly Away. And so if you would consider standing and joining us for that, all the lyrics will be on the screen.
Some black morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
When the shadows of this life have gone, I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars has flown, I'll fly away.
I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away.
I'll fly away again. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Will all the children and young at heart please come up to the front of the sanctuary for the time for all ages, which will be given by Amanda Lee. And if you children have mementos or pictures to put on the altar, please bring them up with you and put them on the altar. Come on up. I don't know. Maybe you can take a mic. Yeah.
Check, check. Oh. Okay, guys, this is a really good book. I was looking at it earlier this week, and it really touched me, right? So if I get emotional, I have my Kleenexes right here. and if you guys get emotional, I have some for you too, just in case. I'm going to sit down right here. I'm okay. I think this is okay. Yeah. Okay, sure, Lisa. Thank you. Ready to go, Zach? Emily asked her friend. It was Friday, and the rest of the kids were already racing home from school, excited for the weekend. Zach shook his head. He just wanted to be alone. Okay, but let's hang out at the treehouse later, Emily said, leaving him at his desk. The only thoughts in Zach's mind were of JoJo as he slung his heavy backpack over his shoulder and slowly headed home. This weekend, JoJo wouldn't be there. JoJo had been Zach's best friend in the whole world. They played Frisbee on the weekends. Together, they hiked the hills and trails near Zach's house. And when the moon was full, they howled together as it shined down upon them. Ow! Mom and Dad tried to cheer Zach up with his favorite rainbow cupcakes, but JoJo wasn't there to steal the very last bite. Cupcakes aren't the same without JoJo, Zach said, and pushed his plate away. We'll adopt another dog as soon as you're ready, buddy, Dad reassured him. But Zach wasn't interested. No other dog, Dad, never. I just want JoJo back. Zach stomped off, and when his bedroom door slammed, it shook the whole house with sad. Before dinner, Emily came by to see if Zach could play. Hey, what's wrong, Zach? Why don't you want to meet me at the treehouse? Come over. Emily tugged playfully at Zach's arm, and they began to wind their way through the neighborhood. But Zach dragged his feet. JoJo died this week. He got old and sick, and now I'll never see him again, not ever. He started to cry. Emily understood. It's okay, Zach. I cried so hard when Rexy died too, but then I heard the news. Zach was curious. What news? Emily had a sparkle in her eyes. Oh, just the very best news ever. Rexy and I will always be connected, Emily continued, just like you and JoJo. Huh? Zach blinked. That makes no sense. How can you be connected to someone that's gone? Emily held out her hands. Because they're not all the way gone. See? Did you guys see? Zach squinted and stared, but he only saw the air. Are you playing a trick on me? Because I can't see a thing. I know, but the invisible leash is the realest thing in the whole wide world, Zach. When our pets aren't here anymore, an invisible leash connects our hearts to each other forever. Yeah, right. That's totally impossible, Zach laughed, even though nothing felt funny. None of this seemed like it would be real. But oh, how he wished it could be. How could Rexy have an invisible leash? She's a cat. You never walked her on a leash. Not when she was alive, but she has an invisible leash now, just like my sister's bird Cuckoo, and my brother's hamster Fred. Well, JoJo didn't really like his leash. He loved running free. Zach figured he had stumped Emily this time, but she still had an answer. It's not a leash that ties our bodies. It's a leash that connects our hearts. When you love an animal and they love you back, that gives the invisible leash the magic power of infinity to stretch from here all the way to the beyond. Zach wanted to know more. Where exactly is the beyond? Do you mean like another planet way out in space? There and everywhere, answered Emily. Grandpa says the beyond can even be all around us. He said that we spend the rest of our lives learning that we feel the most important and truest things in the world in our hearts and don't need to see them with our eyes. That's what it means to believe. I wish I could believe, Emily. I wish that so much. Zach began to wonder as they watched the moon rising over the valley. He remembered how much he and JoJo loved the full moon. When JoJo misses me, would I feel him tug the invisible leash just like when I used to walk him? Yup, said Emily. And it works both ways. When I miss Rexy, I tug on the leash, and sometimes I can even hear her purr. For real? Zach asked, looking at his friend in the eye. For very real, answered Emily. And she added, cross my heart. Zach knew how much she meant it. The warm winds swirled around the two friends, gazing at the evening sky. Frogs croaked, and crickets started chirping as the stars began to gather. Soon, a smile widened across Zach's face. Emily, what if JoJo and Rexy have been looking at the very same moon we're looking at? So they're with us right now. Oh, Zach, she jumped up. I never thought of that before. The very same moon. Now I feel Rexy tugging her invisible leash this whole exact second. Zach had one last question. Em, what does an invisible tug feel like? Like love, said Emily. Zach's heart started to feel all kinds of warm. Well, I think maybe I can feel JoJo tugging me from the beyond. Right now, asked Emily. Very right now, said Zach. Together, they sat there for a long time with no words, and then it was time for dinner. They hugged goodbye, and the moon lit up Zach's pathway home. Later that night, Zach looked again at the moon, now glowing full and bright in his window. He was almost positive that he could hear the sound of JoJo beginning to howl, just like he used to. And so he joined in. And when they were done, Jack saw JoJo's sparkling brown eyes looking deeply into his. This did not feel like any dream. This felt real. And for the first time since JoJo died, Zach fell asleep happy. Thank you, Lisa. I took a picture of this because I knew I was going to forget it. Let's see. I like the idea that the string that connects us to the people and the family that we love and see in person, this string also connects us to people or pets that have died. This altar helps us to remember those loved ones. If you guys have anything you want to put on it in remembrance of anyone or any being you've ever loved who's no longer with us, please feel free to do so. And have fun in class today.
Huh? I have a solo.
Oh, you're so...
You want to mail it? You're going to check it, make sure. Toasting? Yep.
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars, climb on every rock. May you stay forever young.
May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous. Stand upright and be strong. And may you stay forever young.
May your hands be always busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. May you stay forever
forever young.
Hi, I'm Claudette Wassel. I may not look familiar because I spend most of my time with East VUU, but here I am. This is the name, the face with the name. Today I'm going to talk about my three brothers. I used to have three brothers. My youngest brother, Ray, died last February, shortly before his 68th birthday. I had gotten a call from my niece, Amber, that Ray had gone to the emergency room with a bad cold, and it was determined he had double pneumonia. He was being medevaced to a hospital in the city that had more facilities in the intensive care. They were pressing her to come to the hospital as soon as she could because they were not sure how much longer he would last. Amber called me a few hours later to tell me that he had passed before she could get to the hospital. It was somewhat fortunate that Amber had not had to make the decision of whether to take him off life support because my brother had left no instructions. He had no will. He had very little money in a bank account because he had his own cash business and had worked under the table for most of his adult life. This makes him sound like a gangster, but he was the sweetest, gentlest guy. He had been living in a small town outside of Boston, and his business was called Ray's Fair Auto Repair. Ray's Fair Auto Repair. That was Ray. He had customers who had brought their old cars to him for 30 years. He always gave them a good price on their repairs, and when their cars were beyond repair, he would help them find another old car that he believed he could keep running for at least another 5 years. Some of his grateful customers came to his memorial service and spoke about how lost they were without him. The memorial was good and healing for all, but this was not a good death. Ray's death was not necessary. He should have gone to a doctor long before he got to that state of illness. He had not prepared for death at all. He owned his mobile home outright, but no one knows where the deed might be, and he had no will, so my niece is still dealing with probate. My older brother, Teddy, died about 6 years ago. Teddy was 2.5 years older than me, and he was my first best friend. In later years, as my parents' alcoholism deteriorated into dysfunction, Teddy and I became mom and dad to our younger siblings. He actually saved my life at one point when my mother refused to take me to the doctor, and he could see that something was very wrong. That was Teddy. A smoker since he was 12 years old, Teddy was diagnosed with severe emphysema when he was 66. He was not expected to live long, so my son and I flew out to Arizona to spend a week with him while we could. He had a wonderful, caring wife with some nursing skills who kept him alive for another 10 years. Meanwhile, my son and I had moved to Arizona and were able to spend a lot more time with Teddy. After multiple terrifying hospitalizations, always around Christmas time, he finally signed up for hospice care. When I last saw him, he was heavily sedated and unresponsive. I sat vigil with him and his wife and daughter. My only regret is that I didn't talk to him as I sat there. I now think it's possible that he might have heard me. Teddy got to die at home, and he chose to be cremated. I spoke at his memorial, as did one of his stepsons who was especially close to Teddy. Although it was a long, drawn-out death, it was a good death. My middle brother, Gary, had been the first to die. He was 58 years old and about to retire. He'd had several heart attacks and subsequent surgeries, but he did not die of a heart attack. He died in a motorcycle accident. He was returning home from a charity ride with his motorcycle buddies. These were not the Hell's Angels. They were a different kind of angels. They raised money for various charities by having people sign up to sponsor them on motorcycle rides. He was just riding through a rural neighborhood on his way home from one of these rides when a woman abruptly turned into her driveway right in front of him. He couldn't stop in time. It took a while for an ambulance to get there. And when he got to the hospital, they reported that he had severe brain damage. They put him on life support. Most of my family was living in the Northeast then, and they all came to the hospital. My son flew out to join me in New Jersey. Gary was everyone's favorite uncle. He was the happy, silly guy who was always entertaining the kids at family gatherings. A number of his friends from his motorcycle group came to the hospital too. Gary and his two sons, Gary and David, who were in their 30s at the time, were there and collaborating on his care. And my brother's longtime girlfriend, Denise, was there, as well as his ex-wife, Linda. By the second day, the doctors had made it clear to us that he would never be Gary again, and they were recommending turning off the life support. Denise was strongly opposed. His sons, Gary and David, were trying hard to honor everyone's feelings. So we all sat around in an adjacent room for days, waiting. My nephews had contacted my mother in Florida and were entreating her to come, but she had never flown on an airplane. They asked me to persuade her, and she finally agreed to get on a plane and come. It had been about 5 days by the time she got there, and despite Denise's continuing protests, my nephews decided that it was now time to turn off the life support. We all stood in a semicircle around the bed as they unplugged the life support paraphernalia. We told memories of Gary as we waited for his life to end. Our favorite family memory of him was the day he had a pig roast. After we'd eaten and the pig had cooled down, Gary came out of the house wearing the pig head on his head. That was Gary. My family had always done death the traditional way, so the boys arranged the funeral in a nearby funeral home. Gary's youngest son, David, stood and did an incredibly moving eulogy for his father, extemporaneously. He was the shy one, and I was astonished by his eloquence. Gary's whole motorcycle gang was there, and I shook each one of their hands and told them how much it would have meant to Gary for them to be there. Despite the tragic circumstances, this was a good death. I had 3 brothers, But my greatest inspiration for proposing a course on death literacy here at our church was the recent death of my brother Ray. My mother had left everything in order, and as the executor, that was the greatest gift she could have left me. So I'm here to announce that in February and March, Melissa Bush, Janice Miller, and I will be giving a course on death literacy. I want us all to have good deaths.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Benign. As we prepare our hearts and our minds for remembering those we have lost and to be present for one another, I invite you to just a short meditation. Feel free to close your eyes if you'd like and relax. This is a time to consider yourself. Reach into yourself with love, gentleness, and generosity. What would it look like to be generous with yourself? Be gentle and compassionate with all of who you are. Offer yourself right now some reassurance and some love. Hold the picture of you giving yourself this kindness in your mind's eye and in your heart. As we begin to contemplate those that may still be here and those that we have lost, actively remember you are a part of this whole. You are part of what has been passed down to you from those who have gone before. You are present in the decisions you make every day. You are the future of yourself, your family, and this congregation. As part of the whole, you are the wind through the trees. You are the river running down the mountain. You are the light that shines on the water. And you are the softness of the earth. Let your true self awaken and be refreshed. And with the support of those around you and your community, you can look forward with strength at the future. Move ahead, letting your feet walk in peace. Let your words create truth and kindness. And let your spirit be your guide. Now I invite you to open your eyes slowly and gently as we become ready for our time of remembrance.
During this time of meditation and centering, you may visit or revisit grief, as I'm sure many of us are doing since our member, Vince Vitullo, died recently. It is our time and place to do that grieving here. For you, it may also be a time of revisiting cherished memories that you may do as well. Today, everyone is invited to share the names of those they are remembering. If you brought a memento or picture, you can bring it up to the altar. If you would like to, you can make a piece of paper on the small table to write a note to someone you cherish and place it on the altar. Feel free to name more than one person, as there is no limit to our desire to remember those we love. And you should also feel free to name people in your personal life and people known communally, like Jane Goodall or Robert Redford, or names of people who have died in mass shootings or current war zones. You can also simply name the event if many are dying as the result. This is also a time you may participate in any of our other rituals, lighting a candle, moving a stone, and adding water to our fountain, or writing in the book.
we move from celebrating, grieving, and remembering those we love who may have left us, we're now going to shift to looking at ourselves and thinking about how we show up in the world with the 9 contemplations of death. The lineage for today's 9 contemplations of death comes from Atisha, an 11th century Tibetan Buddhist scholar and contemporary scholar, teacher, and social activist Joan Halifax. There are 9 contemplations. The first, death is inevitable. The second, my lifespan is decreasing continuously. 3, death will come regardless of whether I am prepared for it. 4, my lifespan is not fixed. 5, death has many causes. 6, my human body is fragile and vulnerable. 7, my loved ones cannot keep me from death. 8, my material resources cannot help at the moment of death. And 9, my own body cannot help me at the time of death. These contemplations have been passed down for generations because they are full of truth and insight. And when thought about or practiced regularly, they can help us explore the inevitability of our death and allow us to center on what's truly important to us while we're still alive. So, number 1, all of us will die sooner or later. Death is inevitable. No one is exempt. The most noble person who ever lived, the wealthiest human alive, the humblest human will die. Death is an inescapable outcome of life. Perhaps reflect on the profound equality that death bestows upon us all. It renders meaningless all distinctions of wealth, status, and relationship. The second, our lifespan is decreasing continuously, each breath bringing us closer to death. Our movement toward death never stops. Consider the relentless passage of time, the brevity of life in the grand scheme of our universe. We live in the dash, right? Somewhere in between our birth date and our death date. Consider how you might live more fully in this very moment. Death will indeed come, whether we are prepared or not. We spend time contemplating our death, preparing for our spiritual needs, the needs of our logical minds, our physical bodies, our dependents, our belongings, or we might not. Death does not discriminate. It will come regardless of whether our affairs are in order or not. It might be wise to be mindful of death and to use time, energy, and resources to prepare for this inevitability. Number 4, our lifespan, like that of all living beings, is not fixed. Human life expectancy is uncertain. Death can come at any moment, sleeping, waking, healthy, in pain. In fact, 8 people have probably died in the few minutes since I started this contemplation. And how many of those humans really thought they were going to die today? When it's time for me to die, it will probably happen in an ordinary human moment like this one. And sometimes I wonder, how much time do I have left? Number 5. I'm way past number 5. Hold on, one moment. That's the good and bad part about technology, right? There we go, okay. Contemplating the infinite ways in which death can manifest, from accidents to illnesses, conditions inherited from family, something inherent for being a modern human, heart disease, the latest plague. Allow your mind to consider those possibilities without avoidance. One way or another, whether I have spent precious energy worrying about the potential condition or I never saw it coming at all, it will have the same end result. Number 6, our bodies are fragile and vulnerable. One breath One moment, one mistake can bring life to a surprising and rapid end. Life is precious, and it requires many interwoven systems and functions with precision just to continue. And at any time, for any reason, and sometimes for no reason at all, one of those systems could fail. Sometimes I have trouble acknowledging that death is not a failure, but an inevitability for my fallible physical form. Number 7, my loved ones can't keep me from death. I came into this world alone. I'll face death alone. And I may turn to loved ones in times of hardship, but even if they're doctors, spiritual gurus, witches, they are ultimately powerless in preventing my death. There are limitations to our attachments, and clinging to them in sorrow may actually make dying more difficult. I really will try and not burden my loved ones with that expectation. Holding that thought in my mind, I hope I will exercise non-grasping. I ask myself regularly, what will actually help me when I die? Number 8, at the moment of death, material resources will be of no use to me. My cherished belongings, potent medicines, the stores of money left behind, we hope, right? Or not. But no matter how much I've accumulated, how carefully my belongings have been preserved, no thing will help me avoid the inevitability of my death. Furthermore, my possessions must be redistributed. I'll have to let go of everything. And with this in mind, I contemplate how I might release attachment to my possessions now. How do I wish to invest in the remainder of my days? And last, my own body cannot help me at the time of death. Despite care and attention invested in the body, it too will be lost at the moment of my death. The exercise, the rest, the nourishment, the abuse, the self-love, the burnout, it all will come to an end. My most intimate companion, the vehicle through which I've traveled this lifetime, from conception to death, must ultimately be left behind. I'm dependent on my body now. It allows me to breathe and exist in this moment, and yet I will join every human ancestor before me in letting go of this vessel. Now, some of these contemplations, all 9 of them, some are easier to grasp and think about, and some, they're too scary, at least for right now. But I ask you to consider the truths in your own time and allow those contemplations to give you a profound awakening of the existential reality of life and death, maybe just guiding you toward a more mindful existence. Blessed be.
Cora? This is from a Disney movie that you might recognize, and Cora will take us through this.
Remember me, though I have to say goodbye. Remember me, don't let it make you cry. For even if I'm far away, I hold you in my heart. I sing a secret song to you each night we are apart. Remember me, though I have to travel far. Remember me.
That was really beautiful. There are many ways we keep VUU together, whole, and hopefully growing: by our volunteering, by our community work with each other, and by our donations and pledges. Now is the time for our offering, and the ushers can now come forward. Please remember that there will be a short congregational conversation directly after the service today to talk about our pledge drive, and there will be refreshments and sign-ups for cottage meetings too. Thank you all for your generosity to this beloved community. And Adrian O'Donnell has a special message for us today that just came up at the last minute, so please pay attention.
Hi, folks. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm not a huge fan of public speaking. I've already sweat through my shirt, but I'm here to actually talk about iHelp. If you don't know what iHelp is, it's the Interfaith Homeless Emergency Lodging Program. We host it here at VUU about 4 to 5 nights a month, which we're doing great at. We have a lot of folks volunteering, a lot of people coming in. But what we found out recently about this program, which is where we have up to 25 unhoused folks staying overnight in our sanctuary, where we provide a sack lunch and a hot meal that evening. What we found out is that one of our partner churches that our partner Ascend uses has flooded. So we've been getting asked to take on additional nights. We took on several additional nights in October, and we managed that with our existing volunteer base, but we've gotten asked to take on 3 extra nights in November. And I don't know when that church is going to be repaired, so it could even go beyond that. Reverend Sarah and I thought we really had to have a conversation with you guys and say, hey, can we take this on as a congregation? We want to support our partner Ascend. We want to support these unhoused folks. We don't have the capacity without your help to do more. These are the extra dates. It's November 13th, 22nd, and then 27th, which is Thanksgiving, which is kind of a big deal. The only date we would have to provide food is for Thanksgiving. That sounds hard, but actually that's the one day a year we're probably all cooking anyway. So if you want to just make an extra green beans, or you want to make an extra pie, or you want to donate half your turkey or your leftovers, we're happy to have it, and we'll set up a sign-up genius and do all those things. But we wanted to just talk to you about whether this was something that we could try to do as extra. A lot of people have been asking, how do we help folks? SNAP benefits are going away. This is one way to help the folks that we're already working on. These folks have been promised 90 days of housing by Ascend to get themselves on their feet. But every night it's housing in a different church. They have one small bag and they have a mattress where they sleep on our floor. And we do our best to make them welcome, but we want to be able to do more. We want to come through for our partner. So this is the contact information. We have to decide by Monday, which is soon, whether we're going to take on these extra dates, whether we can have the capacity to take on these extra dates. All I'm asking you to do is, if you feel like you might be able to be involved in any way, there's lots of opportunities to be involved. From 5:15 to about 7:30 on those days, we'll need a few people to come help set up, serve a meal, eat a meal with our folks, and clean up. On the 27th, we'll need part of your Thanksgiving dinner if you're willing to give out some of that to somebody else. And folks to come in and serve. If you can do it, great. If you can't, that's okay, but let us know. If you can email ihelp@vuu.org and just tell us whether you think you'd be able to maybe give a little support in the month of November, maybe the month of December to this program. It's a lot of extra days to take on, but we're hopefully relying on you. Thanks, guys. Oh, and I'm Adrian O'Donnell. Did I introduce myself? I don't even know. I'm the VUU iHelp coordinator. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking of heading for home. Always on the move, with banner unfurled, yet gathering moss on the stone. I sing for the children and cry for the world, and I'm thinking of heading for home. Yeah, I'm thinking of heading for home. As time's my old friend and death's my new kin, I'm not taking the journey alone. I am old, I am young, I'm all that I've been, and I'm thinking of heading for home. Yeah, I'm thinking of heading for home. The memory of love will burn in my heart till embers and ashes are gone. The light in your window is my northern star, and I'm thinking of heading for home. Yeah, I'm thinking of heading for home. And it's time I was headed for home. Yeah, it's time I was headed for home.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I know the subject's a little heavy, but my name's Melissa Bush, and I'm here to talk about a good death. You've heard a little bit about that. I must say I have a confession to make. I have this overwhelming urge, this irresistible urge sometimes when I walk into a grocery store and I think, all these people are going to die. And I think, I need to tell them. And so I think, I'm just going to run around the store and say, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. And then, of course, the store manager will call and the state hospital people will come take me away. And so I haven't done it yet, but I do have this urge. And in fact, I just had it a few days ago, and I just had to catch myself, probably because I was thinking about this service. So, what is a good death? So I'm hoping that you've generated some thoughts about this. What would you want for your own death to be a good death? Now, there's undoubtedly a lot of subjectivity here. Culture and religiosity play a role. Personal experience plays a role. Whether one is a healthcare professional or not plays a role. If we surveyed everyone in this room, we would get multiple answers as to what constitutes a good death. And I believe just contemplating that you will die brings you closer to a good death. I have an app on my phone. It's called We Croak. It's got a little symbol it's a frog symbol on it. Best 99 cents I ever spent. I'm telling you, I've had it a long time. It was 99 cents about 10 years ago. But they say in the country of Bhutan that if you think of death 5 times a day, you will have a happier life. So 5 times a day, a note pops up on my phone, and it says, remember, you're going to die. Swipe to see the quote. One of my favorite quotes is from Frank Ostaseski, an American Buddhist teacher. He writes, quote, death is not waiting for us at the end of a long road. Death is always with us, in the marrow of every passing moment. She is the secret teacher, hiding in plain sight. She helps us discover what matters most." End quote. These 5 daily quotes from Buddhist philosophers like Ostaseski and Pema Chodron to Viktor Frankl and even RuPaul, of all people, helps me get out of whatever is going on inside my head. It helps me return to the present moment, which is all I have. But back to the issue at hand. I have worked in hospice as a nurse practitioner for almost 15 years now and have witnessed much. From the daughters getting into an actual fist fight over their dying mother's bed, to the families of 97-year-olds still desperately hanging on to their person. It's not the person trying to stay, mind you. With just one more antibiotic, just one more blood test. To patients with advanced dementia getting their hips fixed or having feeding tubes surgically placed. I believe it is fear that motivates and underlies these situations. In an effort to normalize death discussions, the Death Cafe was born in England at the home of John Underwood in East Hackney in 2011. The Death Cafe model was developed by both John Underwood and Sue Barsky-Reed based on the ideas of Bernard Crotage, a Swiss theologian and ethnographer. These cafes are a safe place to bring up our fears, anxieties, questions, and all that we hold regarding death. In England, there's always tea and cake because, of course, it's England. Social worker Lizzie Miles was the first person to offer Death Cafe in the US in 2012. There is no agenda. There is no education provided. It's not a support group per se, or a bereavement group or a counseling session, just a safe place to talk about death. As stated on deathcafe.com, our objective is to increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Death cafes have quickly spread across Europe, North America, and Australasia. As of today, there have been hundreds of thousands of death cafes in 93 countries since its inception in September 2011. The Death Cafe movement has established both that there are people who are keen to talk about death and that many are passionate enough to organize their own Death Cafe, like me. So, after we have the very important congregational conversation, so stay after the service for that, we will have a Death Cafe, our own little Death Cafe. It'll be about an hour, and we're going to have it in the flex room over there. And we also have cake over there, so there's lots of cake. You all have to stay for cake. Everybody has to have a piece of cake because we have a lot. And so we will have a Death Cafe, and I hope that I won't be the only one there. So thank you so much for your attention.
Voices Lifted singers have been providing music at hospice bedside for nearly 20 years. We are trained and certified by Hospice of the Valley and sing twice a month at hospice. We hope our presence and singing provide a measure of peace to those making the transition between life and death, as well as comfort to their families during an exhausting and wrenching time. Many of us personally have been in that position. We always sing a variety of songs, but we end our time with a patient and family with a version of Melanie DeMoore's Sending You Light. We are sending you light to heal, to hold you. We are sending you light to hold you in love. That's what we're singing today, and we hope it has meaning for you.
We are sending you light to heal you, to hold you. We are sending you light to hold you in love. We are sending you light to heal you, to hold you. We are sending you light to hold you in love. No matter where you go, no matter where you've been, you'll never walk alone. I feel you deep within. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love.
Closing words today are from Katie Butler's book, Knocking on Heaven's Door, The Path to a Better Way of Death, which I recommend. Katie writes, I can't help thinking that if we spoke of death more directly and honored its sacredness more, rather than honoring only the sacredness of life and pretending that death isn't part of nature or God's plan, we might respond more wisely in its face and more fully afterward. Blessed be. And now we'll do the extinguishing of the chalice. Will you join me in the words? Though we extinguish the chalice, our connection to each other and this community remains. May its light guide us this week as we walk the path of justice, speak words of love, and fill our world with compassion until we meet again. Go in peace.
This is a Willie Nelson song. We hope you'll stand and join us and clap. And we don't care if you clap on the beat or off the beat or however you choose to clap. This is Unclouded, also known as Uncloudy Day. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they tell me of a home far beyond the skies. Tell me of a home far away. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day.
We extinguished the chalice already, but we wanted to say thank you for bringing all of your beautiful things and spend some time with the altar, and you can take your belongings home. And we appreciate everybody being here and thinking about this stuff with us. Thank you so much. Go in peace.
Oh,
Hey everyone, if you can hear me, we're going to start our congregational conversation as soon as we can. So get your cake, sit back down, and we'll get started in, I don't know, maybe 3 more minutes. We want to be respectful of your time. We're running a little bit behind schedule, so get your cake, sit down. We'll start in like 3 minutes.
Testing, 1, 2.
All right, in interest of time, let's get this started. If everyone could end their conversations or bring them outside, preferably end them and sit down, let's get started. Okay, so we have 2 agenda items today. One is the survey, and I'll hand the time over to Nancy, and then we'll talk about stewardship. So Nancy, and if you could please end your conversations now. All right, I'll try this whole clapping thing. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. All right, if you're still talking, leave. I mean, come on, let's get this going. It's already noon. All right.
Okay. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm just going to give you a little update on the survey. As of 3 seconds ago when I looked, 143 of you have recorded a survey. Last night I noticed that it took about 6 hours for reported surveys to show up in the system, so it's possible that there are a few more. By the end of the day today, we will turn off the survey. I'm hoping that we have at least as many responses as we had last year. The number was 154. We need about 9. Or maybe that's 11. I lost track. It's been a long day. Thank you to everybody who's responded. I have noticed 2 things. The demographics of the survey are a little lighter than last year. In other words, age-wise and some other ways, we have more various groups participating. I have also noticed that, that people seem to have responded a little bit more, I won't say affirmatively necessarily, although the survey responses were pretty positive. What I mean is, it wasn't quite as lengthy as last year, so it was easier. So anybody who's expecting to do last year over again, take another shot, go to the link for the survey, and get it completed, because it won't take you nearly as long as last year's did, and we do get some valuable information from it about the current circumstances and the future of VUU. That's enough said. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Overall, I want to let you know that one of our goals is to have VUU's shortest congregational conversation ever. We will take questions, but our presentation is really short. So we hope that you can sit down with an expectation of about 15 minutes or so and join us for this. We'd like to begin by lighting our chalice. And if we could have the opening words up on the screen. There they are. If you can see them, please read along with me. We give because someone gave to us. We give because nobody gave to us. We give because giving has changed us. We give because giving could have changed us. We have been better for it. We have been wounded by it. Giving has many faces. It is loud and quiet. Big, though small, diamond in wood nails. Its story is old, the plot worn, and the pages too. But we read this book anyway, over and over again. Giving is, first and every time, hand to hand, mine to yours, yours to mine. You gave me blue, and I gave you yellow. Together, we are simple green. You gave me what you did not have, and I gave you what I had to give. Together, we made something greater from the difference.
Okay. Good morning. And I think I have to say that old vaudeville line, and now for something completely different. And we'll get started. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, I'm looking that way now. Okay. Good morning. I'm Debbie Simpkins, and I am chair of this year's Stewardship Committee. I will, thank you. You're looking at the beautiful graphic that we have for this year's pledge campaign, for our 2026-27 pledge campaign. We give to transform hearts, open minds, and nurture spirits. We've got a big group working on this campaign this year, and before we do the presentation, I'd just like to ask if you're on the Stewardship Pledge Campaign Committee or Stewardship Committee, would you please stand? Hopefully it's not most of the room. This is a group of incredibly talented and dedicated people, and we are all very lucky to have them working on this. So we have used recommendations from what we learned during our Next Steps weekend in September, when we had our consultant from Stewardship for Us here to design what we think is a really great campaign this year. And I'm going to give you, as Carl put it, the 40,000-foot view of the campaign right now. So this is our financial pledge campaign goal this year. We are hoping to increase our annual pledges, the total of our pledges, by $75,000, which is about 17%. The number crunchers on our committee, headed by the intrepid David Shea, have produced this number. They feel it is doable if, as a congregation, we work together and every member and friend pledges as generously as they can. And I sure hope we're going to inspire you to do that. If we meet this goal, which we are most definitely hoping we do, we will be able to hire a permanent director of faith formation. We will be able to permanently fund the position of our music director. We will be able to give cost of living increases to our minister and our administrator, which to me is kind of a sacred commitment between our community and the people who serve us every day. And we will be able to adjust our expenses next year to cover for increases in inflation. What we have going for us this year, or what's new about the stewardship campaign, that the way it doesn't look like it did in the past, is first of all, the fact that we are working, and this is not on the slide because I can't believe I left this out, but one of the biggest advantages we have this year is we are working with a consultant from the UUA Stewardship for Us program, Reverend Lydia. And Reverend Lydia was here in September for the Next Step weekend. I see a lot of people in the room who participated in that, filled out the survey. She prepared a report from that weekend, and the Stewardship Committee used the results of that report to guide our creation of the campaign. You can read that report yourself. Next week, we will have a link in the happenings, and I encourage you to take a look at it. It's got a lot of insight into our congregation, where we are now, and all the reasons we should be very hopeful for our future. So that's first thing is the consultant. We also now have a permanent year-round stewardship committee, so we can support fundraising all year long and come up with other ways to come up with new opportunities. What's going to take a lot of explaining is that this year we are doing an 18-month pledge campaign. So we have been struggling, let me put it this way, the leadership and also the people who are pledging have been struggling for the last many years because we keep asking you to pledge for the calendar year, but our church year starts at the beginning of July to the end of June. So this year we're going to sync up those, and everything's going to run from July through June. But in order to do that, we need to ask you to make an 18-month pledge to make that happen. And next one. The other thing that's new this year is we are going to use a cottage meeting format to conduct the campaign. So what this looks like, you've seen tables out this morning. We have had some wonderful members step up and agree to host small group meetings in their homes, or we have 2 here at VUU. These are going to be groups of 8 to 12 people getting together. It'll be a facilitator-led conversation, and you'll have a chance to visit with other members and friends of the congregation, talk about what really matters to you here at VUU, what you hope for our future, and honestly, get a chance to know each other better, get a chance to meet some people that you don't know, get a chance to have a little more communication among all our members. And of course, you will have a chance to fill out your pledge card at that meeting. The sign-ups begin today, as I said. There are 15 meetings scheduled between November 16th and December 7th right now. We have afternoon and evening times. They're at multiple locations through the valley, including 2 here at VUU. We can provide childcare if you need it to attend a meeting. And the schedules are posted outside on the table, but we will have them, the schedule everywhere. And you will be able to either sign up on paper sign-up sheets on the patio or electronically, and that QR code will take you right to the place where you can see all the meetings and sign up. but we will also have other electronic connections for you in the newsletter and other places. Oh, okay. Okay, yes. Yes. First of all, let me say thank you so much to Lynn and the task group that set up these cottage meetings. I mean, this is amazing how, and it just, it really speaks to the generosity and the enthusiasm that our congregation has, that we have 15 different people hosting meetings and at different times, and I think it will be worth your while to make sure you attend. And I just want to emphasize again that what we found out, and this is probably not news to anybody in here, but one of the big things that came out of our Next Steps weekend that we had at the beginning of September is that we all have really strong opinions about what matters most here at VUU. And some of our opinions, let me put it this way, we all have strong opinions and we're not necessarily aware that there are people who also have strong opinions, but they might not agree with ours, or they may be different than ours. We've all got different reasons that this place is so important to us. And again, I want to just emphasize, I see these cottage meetings as an opportunity for us to get out of our own personal orbits and comfort zones with the people we say hi to every Sunday and get to know what other members of the congregation are thinking and hoping about too. So I hope that you will attend. Next one. So now we're on why participate. Okay, so why should you sign up for a cottage meeting? Better yet, why should any of you make a pledge? All right. Well, there's factual reasons. I like the intellectual side of our congregation. Okay, the first one is stewardship is a shared responsibility by everyone. If you're here and you're participating in VUU and you're calling this place your home, and the people that you're sitting next to, your extended family, which I certainly have been for a very long time, it's a responsibility to help, to contribute, to help keep this place going. I don't know if everybody knows this, but somewhere between 77 and 80% of VUU's budget is funded by pledges. And then the bottom line, of course, if nobody pledges, we can't keep the doors open and the lights on. Okay, next one. Oh, someone said on the air conditioning too. Yeah, that's important. Okay. But the more important to me than any of that is the heart of the matter. And I was really moved during last Sunday's service when I believe it was Melanie who talked about how UUs make up 0.5% of the population. Think about how many people that isn't. I mean, it's like those things they always show you in ecology presentations where there's the Earth and they go, we are one tiny speck in this giant universe and we have to preserve our planet. Well, you guys, this congregation that has honestly been my family's home in Arizona for the last almost 38 years now. I've only been married to Rick for 50 years. That means I only had 12 years before this became part of our family. It's a long time. And this is all we've got. I mean, this is the place where you show up and people tell you, you're welcome here, no matter who you are, no matter who you love, no matter what you believe. You're safe here. You are treasured and celebrated for who you are and loved for just who you are. And this is a gift that we give ourselves and each other, and it is not replaceable. Y'all can go to Paradise Valley if you want to drive all that way. To me, it's not home. You can jump ship and go to one of the Christian churches or back to a synagogue, whatever. That's not home. This is home. And I'm pretty sure that everybody out here is here because they feel the same way. And to me, that's why this pledge drive is so important, because darn it, we need our RE program back, and we need our music program back at 100%. And we need to take care of our staff, and we need to make sure we don't run out of money next year when His Eminence levies more tariffs and everything costs more. We just need to make that happen. So now, stepping off of my soapbox, we'll go to the next slide, please. What you're looking at are the results from the survey a very small part of the results that went out from the survey that was given out during the Stewardship for Us weekend. And our consultant asked, why do we think VUU is important? And these are the answers people gave: Sunday services, faith formation, music, social and environmental justice, the warmth of community, and hope for a better world for ourselves, our children, and the wider community. So that's the survey results. So you may see your own reasons up there. You might have not seen your own reasons up there. But what I would like to do this morning, on behalf of our stewardship committee, and on behalf of every single person who calls this beloved community, this wonderful community, home, and on behalf of all the lives that we are nurturing and walking into a future where you're going to need the lessons that this church teaches, that this congregation, some of those words are just hardwired in my brain, I'm sorry, that this congregation needs to go forward. So think about whatever it is for you, that this is important. Why do you need VUU? Why do you belong here? And frankly, why does VUU need you? Because you matter here. And then sign up for a cottage meeting. Yeah, I know everybody is busy, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? It's 2 hours of your time to spend in the company of friends, exchanging ideas, talking about the future, and planning for the future of the congregation. I think we can all do this. And then please make your most generous pledge. That looks different for every one of us, but we all need to pledge if we possibly can. And in closing, I'd just like to ask, please don't miss this opportunity to sustain and nurture something that we all value so deeply. Thank you. If anyone has questions, we'll try to answer them. I appreciate you staying. Thank you. Wow, no questions. This is great. There's cake. Eat more cake. Yeah. Okay, cafe time.
All right.
Do you want the...
Yeah, Death Cafe. Don't leave yet. Come to the Death Cafe in the Flex room, please, and have some cake.